Women, we have always been taught that we are natural followers.
Women always do most of the domestic jobs.
We're such a patriarchal society, and we're such a sexy society.
Women have been taught to be subservient to men.
There is no gender budget unless there's a gender plan.
Well, in the Philippines, 3 out of 10 women are poor.
Are there more women like me who are dying when giving birth?
Every day, 11 women die due to pregnancy-related complications or the lack of reproductive health services.
Are there enough opportunities for women to make money on their own outside of their husband's sources of income?
They have less access to the land. They do not have control over it. They do not have benefit from the fruits of their labor.
The main inequalities of women that women in the Philippines face now are roughly 3 on the top of my head. 1 is political participation, 2 is economic marginalization, and 3, traditional gender notions of what women's place and women's roles are.
Women are generally left behind in terms of participation, effective participation. So we need to bring that up in the planning process.
Sometimes people don't pay attention to women because they don't speak. But to make them speak, you need a lot of training and consciousness raising. And that is where the budget really comes in.
The policy is there, but no one ensures that it's being put in place, it's being done.
They supposedly have the budget in place, but the question is usage. How it was used and where it was used is something that governments also still need to look into.
Gender responsive budgeting, or GRB, is essentially good budgeting. Why is it good budgeting? Because it addresses the needs of both men and women, boys and girls.
Is really being able to put in the finances needed to account for women's human rights.
It's basically a tool. It's a social technology that was introduced to implement policies that are aimed at improving the quality of life of women. It recognizes fundamentally the difference of situation of women.
It also wants to contribute to the achievement of gender equality outcomes and women's empowerment goals. It can also be seen as a process, a political process.
The gender responsive budgeting has made significant impact on the lives of Filipino women.
Has brought about changes in the lives of people, women and men, in different contexts.
The women have been able to have been provided with that space to participate in the local development planning, to have their voices heard, to participate in the decision making.
The participation of women is good for the whole society.
Women become more stronger because of this. This is our instrument to lobby for the government
it is logical that we must encourage their full participation so that they can contribute.
I think it's very important. For the women to be given the chance to prove that they are also capable leaders, and by providing them with the opportunity of becoming leaders.
Little by little, we're increasing women's participation. It's very good.
They are very capable. They are very strong, and they can be very good community leaders.
Not only women, because gender in development is not only for women, but is for men and women.
What we used to say the needs, but you can also say the rights.
Is a long-term goal. We cannot just start and stop. It just means it must be sustained.
Duty bearers have a very important role to make sure that resources are allocated in such a way that gender equality is actually achieved.
What I needed government to understand first before they went into an implementation of gender responsive budgeting is to really be able to understand what gender issues are to begin with. Only then can any financial plan be effective.
Implementers of this policy should be well aware on how to do gender analysis of what are the issues happening in the sectors that they are targeting or servicing, for them to be able to identify the appropriate programs. And only then can they decide on what resources should be allocated.
It's important for us to have a policy for gender budgeting because unless we have that, we don't have the necessary financial support for all the things that the different departments of the president can do.
For people in government who believe in gender mainstreaming is to ensure that we see through the process. If you're coming from civil society organizations, is making sure that government does it.
The duty bearers are there to protect the rights of the claim holders. The claim holders also have the responsibility to claim their rights and to support the duty bearers in making sure that rights are protected and respected.
Gender responsive budgeting are very political processes. Because of that, civil society is an important actor or an important player in getting gender development in the agenda of the state.
Women's movements in the Philippines played a big role in making sure that the Gender and Development Budget Initiative is institutionalized and it's not just a political discretion of implementers.
There is no development for any society unless there's gender equality. We already know that. We have already long accepted that.
If the duty bearer, the government as a duty bearer, responds, address these issues, then women will have a fuller life.
Government cannot do this alone, nor civil society can do this alone. We can only do this together.
Women's movement should be ever vigilant to make sure that promises are kept. The government should build the capacity to do it right.
You need to make women conscious of their human rights. It's not enough that they know human rights, but development is also organizing women.
Women in the world shall be more vigilant to assert their rights, to gather, and to take action collectively.
Don't be afraid to give equal opportunity to women because they are partners in building this nation.
gender equality is a necessary ingredient for development. Now we have to match that political commitment.
Development is for everybody. It's not only for men.
Rural women contribute to development. Development should contribute to rural women.
You cannot miss anybody because development is for all. Men, women, rich or poor, whatever.